Hey guys, Dr. Dobson, and this is a 4-7 MO that we did today. You can see that there's a pretty deep lesion that's into the dentin. There are no other lesions on this x-ray that require treatment, so we're just going to do the 4-7 MO with Equia Forte in this video. Going to start by getting a rubber dam on. For isolation, I like the rubber dam as opposed to other isolation methods. You can use a KS1 burr for initial reduction. There is an occlusal composite in there that we're going to prep out and make sure that we get all of the composite from the pulpal floor, which is always a little tricky to do. You kind of got to go back and forth with drying the tooth and inspecting to see if there's composite. But we're going to do our initial proximal box and most of the reduction in the pulpal floor. You can see there's still some composite there, so we're going to remove that. I was saying that I like the rubber dam opposed to other isolation methods because it just gives you the physical separation from the mouth, as opposed to something like an isolate where you still have to deal with the tongue, and just psychologically I find it to be a little bit easier. Going to dry the tooth and still see a little bit of composite, so we'll remove it with a large round diamond, and now we have all of the old composite out, and we're going to begin our caries removal with a small slow speed carbide. This is my burr of choice for caries excavation because you just don't have to press as hard. Sorry about the formatting here. I'm playing around with my DaVinci. We can see still some caries in the lingual aspect of the prep, so we're gonna go back in and continue excavation with the small carbide burr. And we can still see a little bit in just a touch on that lingual aspect of it. I'm going to open up the contacts here with an Explorer, and then actually I'm going to go in with a carbide flame burr just to kind of round off any kind of enamel chips. And you can actually see an enamel chip just went flying off there. Sorry again about the formatting. So we're almost ready to go, just a little bit more caries reduction. Can use a little bit of a bigger burr to make sure that there isn't any sharp internal line angles. Going to get that lingual aspect of the caries, and then we're pretty much going to be ready to go. This was a bit of a deeper lesion. You could have seen on the x-ray the patient actually did complain of sweet sensitivity. So we're ready to restore there. Happy with the hardness of the tooth to the instrument. Going to put on a sectional matrix. I always like to kind of take my wedge and kind of put it in and out while applying apical pressure to the sectional matrix because it seats fully. And then we're going to put the separator ring on, and I'll always seat it as apically as possible and then give it a shake to force the ligament apart. And then going to burnish our band against the proximal tooth, and then we're going to be ready to etch. So that's ready to go there. We're going to etch it. And my protocol for restoring teeth with glass hybrids is a 5-second phosphoric acid etch, followed by a thorough rinse, and then mostly drying the tooth. I have read a bunch of papers that say that this is an effective method for bonding both glass hybrids and resin modified glass ionomers. And we're going to express our Equia Forte into the proximal blocks first, and then overfill the tooth. I'll pack it in with a moist cotton pellet to ensure that there is good adaptation around all of the margins of the cavity. And then I'll literally give about 4 minutes. I'll walk away from the room and have a sip of coffee while the Equia Forte sets, and then go back because Equia Forte really does need time. And if you don't give it enough time, then when you're doing this, removing the sectional matrix, then the marginal ridge can crumble and you have to redo the whole procedure. So I've learned that lesson the hard way, and now I wait 4 minutes, especially with these bigger restorations. So we're going to begin removing the excess restorative material with a large round diamond. And then doing the finishing of the excess material with a large round carbide on a slow speed. And I love finishing glass-based restorations because you can so clearly see the margins. Gonna remove the rubber dam and check the bite. And we can see a high spot on the distal aspect of the restoration, so we're gonna take it down. Spiffy up the margins, check the bite, we're happy. And then we're gonna apply our coating agent. Give that a cure with the Velo, and then that's it for the restoration. Wouldn't anticipate any post-operative symptoms for a situation like this. And I'll usually tell the patient that they can expect that sweet sensitivity to go away. I usually always say that the gums are going to be tender for a couple of days anytime I do a restoration. And anytime I give a block, I'll say that the jaw is going to be painful to open up widely for a couple of days. Gonna check the contact with the floss, and that is a wrap.